Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Mass shooting, Toronto, Canada. Come on in, folks. Lack of information about a terrible, terrible situation in the Scarborough area of Toronto last night, 10:40 p.m. A group of masked men wearing masks, multiple suspects, they said, walked into this Piper Arm pub and just started shooting random people at the bar. And I saw this going on last night, and I was going to go live last night on it, but there was just very limited information. And then we're like 12 hours later, and there's still very limited information on what happened. They're saying there's armed suspects out there wanted. Who did this crime? What is this about? What is going on in Toronto, Canada? A lot of speculation. A lot of people are pointing fingers at a group called the Khalistanis. Khalistani. Pro-Justin Trudeau Khalistani group that clashed with a anti-Trudeau Justin Trudeau group. What's going on here? A pub called the Piper Arm that opened for the very first time. It was opening night, but they're saying the Scarborough area is, violence has been ticking in that area, Does it have anything to do with liquor and tariffs with the United States? Does it have anything to do with the open borders in Canada? We're going to have a discussion. I'm not educated enough to actually know. That's why I'm asking y'all what's going on. One problem we have with Canada is when we have these mass casualty type of incidents, shh. Where's the media? Where's the suspects? Where's a picture of masked suspects? You would think if they walked into a pub, there would be images out there saying, where are the suspects? Here's the description of suspects. Here's an image of the suspect. Here's an image of a silver car. And we haven't seen any of that at all. Nothing to this day. Now, the BBC did a report on it. No national media, no U.S. media is talking about it. But we're going to talk about what happened. Chain of events. Hello, Canada. Hello. 12 people shot. But thank God none of them died. 12 people shot in a mass shooting at a pub. Opening of a bar pub. So we're getting information. They're saying that 3 suspects are wanted, plus police spoke. So what I'll do first, folks, to keep you all informed is share the information that's being shared. All we can do is speculate. But I know a lot of people are on edge in Canada, and a lot of people are wondering what in the world is going on in Toronto. What in the world is going on in Toronto? It's Toronto. But yeah, massive police response on a street. I guess it's called Progress. And they even announced on their own Facebook page that they were opening. It was opening night. Opening night at the pub. Opening night. Scarborough. We got big news. Piper Arms Pub has officially opened its doors at our newest location in Scarborough. That's the message they put out 18 hours ago on Facebook. They put it out. Come on in. Was it happy evening? What's going on? This is where it occurred, a place called Piper Arms. STC is now open. That's Celebrate. 520 Progress Avenue, Scarborough, Ontario. Says, after months of hard work, we are finally ready to welcome you to our brand new space. Come on in and enjoy our delicious food, refreshing drinks, and great vibes with friends and family. Visit us today and be part of the celebration. So this facility, this building here, opened Piper Arms, a bar. Now, we've had mass shootings in the United States in bars and clubs, even gay bars too. I could think Pulse nightclub, something we've covered extensively on JLR Investigate. But what is the beef where a group of masked men, black masks, would go in there and just shoot random people? Doesn't look like there was any provocation, though there could have been provocation outside. Is it people not wanting the drinking lifestyle? People that were against bars? People don't like alcohol? Is this a religious extremist group that doesn't like alcohol? We're going to talk. But the BBC actually put out a report. So I'll share with you. And then also the police chief spoke, plus the mayor. The mayor left a comment. But let's listen in and see what happened.
A breaking story out of Canada in just the past few hours. There has been a mass shooting near Toronto. At least 12 people have been injured. So let's get the very latest from my colleague Nikki Schiller, who joins us from the newsroom. Nikki, just bring us up to date with what we know.
Yes, Kasia. So we know that this incident happened at around 22:11 on Friday night local time
10:40
in Scarborough city centre, which is an eastern part of Toronto. Now, police were called to the area to these reports of gunfire. Now, local media are reporting that the pub was actually opening. It was a grand opening of the pub, and that 3 male suspects entered and opened fire indiscriminately. Now, the police are telling us that 12 people have been injured. They have been taken to hospital. 6 of those have gunshot wounds. The good news is that the authorities are saying that none of them are in a life-threatening condition. Now, in terms of the victims, they age from their 20s through to their mid-50s. Now, I mentioned that police think that there are 3 male suspects that opened fire in this pub. They are on the loose at the moment, and there is, as you can imagine, a big operation to try and track them down. Now, earlier police said that one of the suspects had a black balaclava on and had fled the scene in a silver car, but later they did say that there were 3 suspects. Now, as you can imagine, there is a huge police operation not only to try and track down those 3 suspects, but also to offer support and aid around the pub. Now, the local mayor has posted on social media. She is Mayor Olivia Chow, and she posted, "I am deeply troubled to hear reports of a shooting at a pub in Scarborough. I have spoken to the Toronto police chief, and he has assured me all necessary resources have been deployed. This is an early and ongoing investigation." She goes on to say that police will provide further details. "My thoughts are with the victims and their families." And Kasia, what police will be trying to work out is what the motive was for this shooting. But as I say, at the moment, 3 suspects are on the loose and are being hunted, 3 male suspects, and 12 people are in hospital, but they are not in a life-threatening condition, Kasia.
All right, 3 armed suspects. What is the motive of this shooting, mass shooting in Toronto? Piper Arms Pub, STC, 520 Progress Avenue, Scarborough. What's going on here? What's this about? Well, I'll share just what some people are saying out there, that the group who could be responsible for this crime. Lack of information leads to a lot of speculation. Canada needs to step up and really get that information out there to keep the public informed of what's really going on. Is it gang related? Is it a religious group? Is it a group that did this that aren't necessarily from Canada? You know, Canada is some people call Canada a state. We've heard that Canada, might become the 51st state of the United States. That's up for debate whether Canada should be a 51st state, but nevertheless, Canada has open borders. Canada for years was allowing people to come into Canada from all across the world, and they would set up shop, right? Different religious groups, different nationalities clicking up in Canada. Now, this is the speculation on who could be involved with this mass shooting, and I'm going to show it to you right here. We're investigating on JLR Investigates. Come on in, my Canada friends. This is what is circulating. Now, I want to talk about this. Is this true or is this not true? Again, we can only speculate until police actually say what is up. 11 plus, it's actually 12, gravely injured in Toronto pub shooting near Scarborough Town Centre. Pro-Trudeau Khalistani extremists and anti-Trudeau Khalistani extremists clash in a deadly scuffle. Pro-Trudeau groups claims anti-Trudeau extremists are Trump supporters who betrayed Canada. Two Khalistani shooters from rival groups on the run after shooting over a dozen people. Toronto shooting Trudeau Khalistan. Canadian crisis. Now, what is this about? What is this about? I had to do a little digging a little bit. Is this true or is it not true? Come on, Canada. Talk to me. Talk to me, folks. What is going on? And they're saying that it's, part of these Hindu Sikh group. Khalistanis? What's going on? What's going on? Is this true or is this not true? Going on in Scarborough. True or not true? Talk to them. Talk to me, folks. Talk to me. What is it like in Scarborough? And why would somebody go to that extreme to just go into a club, not a club, a pub, club, pub, bar. It's all the same thing. Good vibes, good music. I'm not a drinker, right? I know some of you are. Some of you go out. A lot of people go out. Most, society does, do that nighttime entertainment on a Friday or Saturday night, right? People are saying it's true what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We, just it's lack of information because we don't get that information out of Canada because I do think they censor citizenship from getting the truth. Let's get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. What happened here in Canada? Now, the police spoke. Also, the mayor. I guess Toronto has one mayor, and then each little districts in there have their own mayor. But the mayor, Olivia Chow, mayor spoke out about this. Mayor Olivia Chow. Her name is Olivia Chow. She's the mayor of the area, and she put out the information. I am deeply troubled to hear reports of a shooting at a pub in Scarborough. I've spoken to Chief Demkiw, Demkiw, and he has assured me all the necessary resources have been deployed. This is an early and ongoing investigation. Police will provide further details. My thoughts are with the victims and their families. What is going on? What is going on in Toronto? Talk to me, folks. Is it bad in that area? Now, here's the information that's being put out there. We have to depend off foreign media percent. The Independent. The Independent's kind of like Sky News, The Independent, Guardian. There are some international news outlets. They say shooting in Toronto pub leaves at least 12 injured. Matter of fact, I'm going to show some of the crime scene footage while I read this to you because we got to keep informed. This could happen anywhere. Actually, I always said it's scared to even go into a bar and a club in this type of age because people are vulnerable. People are under the influence. You might not even know what's coming, right? That's where the bad, evil actors out there, the opportunists, could go and prey on someone when they're under the influence, right? You're having you're smashing some liquor. You're listening to the music. You're hanging out with friends. You're meeting people, couples meeting people, place to hang out, hook up, whatever. And they're in there, and then some group of masked terrorists, we'll call them terrorists, because if you go in there with masks and just start shooting inside a bar, you are the equivalent, you're technically a terrorist. So let's be real. I should have said armed terrorists wanted. Ski masks, terrorists. Terrorists wanted in Toronto. Shooting in Toronto pub leaves at least 12 injured as 3 suspects on the run. None of the victims, who range in an age from their 20s to their 50s, suffered life-threatening injuries. Good. Could have been much, much worse. Could have been much worse, especially if they were locked the door in there and did some crazy stuff like Omar did at the Pulse nightclub. Remember the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida? Oh my God, that was horrible. People were trapped. People were running the bathroom, and crazy. We covered that on JLR Investigates. If you want to see the crime scene, check out the channel. We go to a lot of crime scenes around the country. I don't think we're going to get to this crime scene, though. Will the Arms Club or will the Arms Pub open back up? Will they be open for business tonight? I'm not so sure. Maybe this was a threat to shut your business down. We don't want your bar or your pub in our community. Is that the message here? Or is there gangs that go into there and they knew that the rival gang was in there at that opportunity and said, okay, I'm going to go in there and shoot it up? Is that what's going on here, people? 12 people have been injured in a shooting. 3 suspects at this time. 9:31 a.m. next morning, almost 12 hours later. 10 hours, 11 hours. Happened at 10:39 p.m. approximately last night. To 10:40, they're saying. Around 10:40 last night, 9:30, so we're 11 hours, 10 hours and 45 minutes into it. And the suspects are still out on the loose. Armed suspects. You would think that's a danger. You would think that you would put out an all-points bulletin. But they're not really doing that. No description whatsoever. Nothing. No surveillance or what's up with the silver car that they're looking for. None at all. Police said they were called to reports of multiple people shot in the district of Scarborough in the East Canada city of Toronto. Officers are still hunting for 3 male suspects. 3 male suspects. Toronto police said early on Saturday following an incident near Progress Avenue and Corporate Drive at 10:40 p.m. local time. The force added that one suspect wearing a black mask. What's it called? A balaclava? Bala, B-A-L-A, C-L-A-V-A. I'm going to show you what that looks like, too. I Googled it. That's one of those, like, terrorist masks. They were wearing, like, a terrorist mask. Straight up terrorist mask. Was seen fleeing and then jumped into a silver car. A silver car. What kind of silver car? What type of... Why are they even sharing the make and model of the car? The year? Why aren't they sharing any of that information? You know, if this happened in a U.S. city... It'd be all over news. It'd be all over YouTube. There's not a lot of YouTube videos about this at all. Couple of those crazy channels that just loop the same thing over and over and over and over again without no context. That's it. Go right now. There's not much information going on right now about this. None of the victims are suffering life-threatening injuries. The Toronto police claim they're deploying all resources to locate and arrest those responsible. Officials warn the public to stay away from the area. For how long? How long should people stay away from the area? What's going on? Mayor said, I am deeply troubled by the reports. She said she had spoken to the police chief, Myron. Who's the police chief? Myron. I think we're going to play him shortly. Who assured her that all necessary resources that have been deployed. Paramedics had earlier described the crime scene near Scarborough Town Center Mall as a dynamic situation, according to Canada's CP24 media. That's their media, CP24 media? Where are you, CP24 media? How come you're not putting stuff out there like that? Like they do in American media whenever there's a mass shooting or armed suspects that go in there and do something like this egregious. How come you're not doing wall-to-wall coverage? Maybe they're censored. Maybe they're not allowed to do it. That's why. Maybe they just don't want to do it. Maybe it's lazy journalism. I don't know. It's reported that the victims' injuries range from minor to critical and several are wounded and were taken to a trauma center. Spokesperson for the Toronto Fire Services told CBC News, where are you? That crews responded to the scene after receiving reports of gunfire and an active shooting. No details were immediately released about what had triggered the violence. That's it. That's all you're getting from the Independent. Now, The Guardian goes a little bit deeper. They're using a different time zone. I guess it's GMT time, 3:39, which would be 22:39 p.m., which would be 10:39. Suspects wanted. Here's what they said. Here's what The Guardian is reporting. Suspects walked into the bar. They produced their guns. And they opened fire on the people sitting inside the bar, according to Superintendent Paul McIntyre of Toronto's Organized Crime Enforcement Branch. That's what's happening, folks. Organized Crime Enforcement Branch. They know something. They know that this is a gang or a terrorist group that did this. Absolutely. I'm happy to report, by the grace of God, there has been no fatalities. The motive for this shooting remains unclear. We're chasing down all leads. Well, I shared with you the possible motive. Clash, anti-Trudeau versus pro-Trudeau Khalistani groups, right? I can tell you this was a brazen and reckless act of violence that's really shaken our community to the core and the city itself. It looks like we had a mass casualty shooting inside the pub. When you walk in, it's kind of eerie when you walk in. I have no footage whatsoever of the inside of the bar. If you do, I'd love to see it. Tips at JLR Investigates. We're helping our Canadian friends out there try to bring public awareness to the situation, but I'm not so sure Canada wants this information out there. They don't want to talk about, the groups of people inside the country. The groups of people that are inside the country there that came from other countries. Mass groups of people from other countries kind of built, Trudeau was talking about that, even in the hospitality sector. He said for years they were allowing immigrants to come into their country and work the hospitality center. But he said the system cannot sustain itself. Remember he gave that press conference about 3 or 4 months ago, or right after the 2024 elections. I think in December, he came out and said, we cannot do this anymore. We can't do this anymore, whatever like that. I think this is a result of open borders. Let's be real. We don't sugarcoat it on JLR Investigates. We don't hold our tongue. We keep it real. We say things that are not politically correct. But hey, that information needs to be said. Who's the group of people that did this crime? Who are they? Where are they? Are they in the country illegally? How did they get into Canada? If they are from another country, they might be Canadian citizens, but I doubt it. Go on Twitter. Some of the locals, they're sharing the group of people that are responsible for this. But, you don't want to upset people, right? You don't want to be upset people. You don't want to offend people. But sometimes you need the hardcore truth, the facts. You want to get that. It has to be an uncomfortable conversation about why this stuff goes on. You have to talk about it. Armed police and several ambulances and fire engines were at the scene pursuing this suspects. Now, this is at the end of the Guardian article. They want to say Canada has a significantly lower rate of firearm offenses than the U.S. than the U.S. So basically, they're saying that the firearm homicides is significantly lower than the U.S. Well, population's much less. Plus, we got a lot of wackadoodles in the United States that we need to fix. All right, so where do we go? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play the police. We're going to play the police chief. He speaks in the course of here and gives some information. Information is power. Listen. Here we go. So he's going to speak. But it kind of just shows you what was happening in Scarborough. Ambulances arrived to the scene.
This is a very active investigation. We're only a few hours into it, but I will tell you what we know up to this point. At approximately 10:39 p.m. this evening, we received numerous 911 calls to attend the pub here behind me for a mass shooting. When officers arrived on scene, they discovered 12 individuals suffering from various injuries. Those individuals were transported to local hospitals, I can tell you right now, our preliminary investigation reveals that 3 males entered the pub just before 10:40. One male was armed with what appears to be an assault rifle. The other 2 males were armed with handguns. And they walked into the bar, they produced their guns, and they opened fire indiscriminately on the people sitting inside the restaurant, inside the bar. I'm happy to report, by the grace of God, that there's been no fatalities. The 12 that are at hospital right now, 6 are confirmed to have gunshot wounds. Those gunshot wounds are not life-threatening. Again, extremely lucky. The others that are there are suffering from injuries such as flying glass, broken glass, and that sort of thing. So we do have 6 gunshot victims right now. The motive for this investigation, or for this shooting right now, remains unclear. We're chasing down all leads. I can tell you this was a brazen and reckless act of violence that's really shaken our community in the city itself. Myself and the other officers that watched the video, we were horrified by it. We've seen a lot of shootings over the years, a lot of video. You get inert to it to a certain extent. But tonight's shooting, these guys just looked at the crowd and opened fire. It was horrible. It's kind of eerie. There's a lot of damage to the walls. There's glass walls that are shattered. There's blood all over the floor. Some people ran to the basement before the police got here hiding, so there's blood in the basement. It's a big scene. It's a messy scene. It's so early on, anything is possible. It could be random. It could be targeted. We don't know.
It's targeted.
Investigators right now sifting through the evidence to determine that. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
So that's really all you're going to get as far as information right now. That's all the police said. Blood everywhere. Some people were fleeing to the basement. All types of emergency personnel there. Ambulances, people being loaded into the ambulances. Massive crime scene, Scarborough. Piper Arms, which had a sign that said, now opening. Why aren't they giving out more information about this? There it is, Piper Arms, see? Armed terrorists, or gangs, whatever you want to call them, groups of people, 3 wanted in connection with this crazy, terrible crime. What's it like in Scarborough? Talk to me, folks. What's it like living in Scarborough? I want to know. What's the area like? I'm curious. Is it safe to walk around on the streets? Is it safe to be out there? Or is it very dangerous out there? Scarborough. Dangerous? What's going on here, people? Look at that. See? Terrifying. People just want to go into a establishment and just have a good time. No different than anyone going to a restaurant. A roller skating rink. Ice skating rink. Bowling alley. Mall. Disney World. Sea World. Great Adventure. Six Flags. A club. A rodeo. Am I forgetting anything? A sporting event. Super Bowl. Basketball, football, hockey, baseball. You go to these places to have a good time. You don't expect to go to these places to get shot. What's going on? Churches. Name them. Keep naming them. These are places that people go to in life. Now, again, I'm not the bar type of guy. You might be. But nothing excuses anyone from going into a place and shooting it up. Shooting it up at all. So the Toronto police this is the only, look, this is what's crazy. This is what's crazy. Toronto police operations. Now they have a Twitter account. And you scroll on their Twitter account and they're not even talking about it anymore. They're talking about someone else unrelated missing people. They don't even talk about it. They talk about it last night, but they don't give any updates today. Toronto police gives 0 updates today about this incident. 0 updates. 0 updates. Look, last time they talked about it was 7 hours ago. This is the last time they talked about it. Huh. So what's up with that? When you have things like this, you get wall-to-wall coverage until the suspects are caught. You got to inform the public of what's going on, but it doesn't appear like it's happening, Toronto. Shooting, Progress Avenue, Corporate Drive, 10:39 p.m. Reports of shooting in pub. Multiple people shot. Condition unknown. Suspect at large. More information to come. That's what they say. More information to come. Okay, what's the more information? You're at multiple hours later and there's no more information. None. The only thing we could do is just play loop clips until we get the information. It says shooting. Again, Progress Avenue. Superintendent Paul McIntyre of the Organized Crime Enforcement will address the media at 2 a.m. That was that guy that we showed, I guess. The scrum, SCRUM, will take place outside 520 Progress Avenue. Crime scene. Crime scene. And then their final tweet, 12 injured, 6 with gunshot wounds, no fatalities, injuries, non-life-threatening, 3 male suspects wanted, TPS deployed, all available resources to locate and arrest those responsible. If you have any information, they want you to call 416-222-TIPS. 416-222-TIPS. That's it. That's all we're going to get. Now, let me show you a little bit about this place. Here's some photos of the crime scene. Pretty terrible. And they got snow out there, too, by the way. Piper Arms. Nice little sign there. Piper Arms. So you could see crime scene, ambulances, everything like that. Piper Arms. Piper Arms. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. Oh, okay. So they were coming out there armed themselves. They're all tactical gear. This is probably the Canadian version of SWAT. Canadian version of SWAT. Toronto, protect and to serve. Okay, to serve and protect. Looks like this might be one of the victims. One of the victims coming out the Piper bar. Piper Pub. Piper Arms Pub. Toronto police. Look, she got the arm. And by the way, they said one of the suspects had an assault rifle. One of the suspects had an assault rifle. But we got lack of information, folks. That's the problem. So let's continue to have the conversation. I'm going to get this up on the map. And also I'm browsing updates to see if we can get any type of information. Any type of new information. Oh, by the way, the black masks. The black masks. Here you go. Scary. Here they are. Here they go. Here they go. That's different versions. Look at that. Scary. That is an indication that it was terrorist related. That's right. I saw ninja. Who owns the bar? That's another thing too. Could they have beef with the bar owner? Is the bar owner part of a racketeering enterprise, a criminal, corrupt organization? Who's the bar owner? Great question. Who decide now? This bar, and I'm going to show you their website. I'm going to show you their website in a second. Let me get the website. They actually have it. They have a Facebook page. I mean, it doesn't look like it's like mob connected or any like a gang. It looks like a pretty decent, solid type of business. They said, look, welcome to Piper Arms, serving brunch, lunch, dinner, and an extensive list of cocktails and beer. Look at the food. Look at the yummy food. That looks good. I'm hungry. Dude, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Look at that. We have everyday craft beers, pints, domestic pints, $4.95 for a 20 ounce. Is that expensive? I don't know. There's an issue going on in this country right now with beer and tariffs, right? Tariffs are on pause. Some tariffs, not tariffs. I'm a little confused about the tariffs because I keep hearing about tariffs imposed. But when we hear tariffs in the United States, we do hear a lot about alcohol tariffs. Look, weekend brunch. Oh my God, look at that yummy food. Dude, I could totally go into Piper Arms and get myself this. Look at that. That's a powerhouse meal. That stuff will keep you loaded and carbed and all type of nutrition to all day long. That looks so young. I'm hungry. I might go to Denny's. We got Denny's here in Florida. I might go. Yeah, Canadian bacon. Look at that. That's what they have at the Piper Arms. That stuff looks yummy. Look at that. Home fries. Eggs. I'm starving, dude. I didn't even eat yet. I came on this morning to talk about mass shootings at the Piper Arms, and I'm starving, dude. I totally want to get that. No, literally, when I'm done this live, I think I'm going to go to Denny's or IHOP. Maybe IHOP. Maybe Waffle House. I like them all. Bob Evans, Perkins, Denny's. We got them all in Florida. We love our Canadian bacon, by the way. We love our Canadian bacon. But yeah, I mean, here's some more photos. By the way, I think it was snowing last night, too. So that's even more brazen, right? To commit a terrorist attack in the snow. It looks like it was snowing last night, according to the photos. Here's the Piper Arms, and you can see there's snow, recent, newly fresh snow on vehicles. Newly fresh snow on vehicles. Piper Arms. And you see there, look, it definitely was snowing. There's snow. There's snow coming down. Piper Arms, grand opening. Piper Arms. Yeah, snow. Look, snowing. Temperature here in the Florida in like 70, 80 degrees. Piper Arms. But we had a lot of snow in Florida in the Panhandle. Remember that? We had 9 inches of snow in the Panhandle. Remember we were snow chasing? I'll never forget that. But yeah. Oh, look, it's like a brick house. It's like an old pub. Look at that. That's the pub. Piper Arm. Matter of fact, let's get some pictures. And I want to also get on the map. Come on in. Who did this crime? Are the suspects watching? JLR investigates. Magnolia sending me some additional information, so let's see what we got. Okay, so what's this? Tow truck turf? Do we have something to do? See, to get the information. People in the chat are saying immigration is a cause of this. And then there's also turf wars with tow trucks. You know, the turf wars with the tow trucks, a lot of times in cities in the United States, the tow truck people will claim territory and shake down the businesses. And go to the business owners. If this is the cause. Tow trucks? I don't know. Silver car, though. Where's the tow truck? Tow truck wars. But that is a problem, too, in cities. Even the cities in the United States. So you'll have certain districts and certain tow truck companies will literally shake down the owners and come to the owners and say, no, if there's an issue with someone parking, illegally on your property or whatnot, you're going to do business with us. And it's other tow truck companies having wars with one another for territory, just like drug dealers. Tow truck wars. Tow truck wars in Toronto have been significant for several years. The conflict involves rival tow truck companies competing for control over lucrative towing territories, leading to violent confrontations and criminal activities. Tow truck. You ever watch that? Remember? There was a funny show. There was a show I used to watch. Hardcore Pawn. Hardcore Pawn. Remember, like Les Gold and the Golds in Detroit, the pawn shop. And there was one incident where there was this guy from Clearwater. His name was Hollinsworth. And then he went to Les Gold. He went in there and said, "Hey, I'm operating a tow truck company and everything like that. I'd like to do business with you, whatever like that." And Les Gold's like, No. We already got somebody, whatever. And he's like, "No, you don't understand. We want this business. We want this business." And he was trying to shake down Les Gold, and then his bodyguards like dragged him out. But that's definitely an issue. Tow truck. One of the most notable incidents was the murder of Alexander Vinogradsky, a prominent figure in the Toronto tow truck industry. He was gunned down in March of 2024. And court documents reveal that he had been the target of multiple assassination plots. The violence has been linked to organized crime, with several shootings and other violent incidents occurring as a result of these turf wars. Do we have the motive here? Turf wars. In response to the escalating violence, Toronto police and other law enforcement agencies have launched multiple crackdowns, resulting in numerous arrests and charges. Despite these efforts, the turf wars continue to pose a significant challenge to public safety in the city. Now think about this. This bar here is a grand opening. It's right by this giant town center, Scarborough Town Center. All right, I looked on the map. A lot of businesses around there. Do you think it was over, opening up, and maybe they went to the owner or something like that and said, we want to do business with you, and the owner said, "Kick rocks. We have our own people," and then they're like, "Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back armed." Possibility. Tow truck wars. So, folks, Piper Arms. Here we go on the map. Dun, dun, dun. Toronto. For all the people that are wondering where this mass shooting happened, it looks like it's in the northeast section of Toronto. So I'm going to spread it out for all the viewers watching around the world. Welcome to JLR Investigates. I'm reporting from the west coast of Florida, right along the Gulf of America in southern Florida. This is my location on the water. Beautiful Gulf of America. This is the map. So now we're talking about Canada, across the U.S. border. Canada, and let's zoom in. Piper Arms. Here you go. In an area here. Scarborough Town Center, a big giant town center. And it is along the 401 highway and McCowan Road. Now, let's look. Oh, what do we got here? It looks like it's in Progress. That's interesting. Progress Avenue. I don't think we got a lot of progress in here unless we get progress in finding out who did this horrible crime. Right? Here's the Piper Arms. Here's what the inside looks like. Oh, here's the inside of the Piper Arms. This looks like it doesn't look like a rundown type bar, does it? Looks like they actually did this thing nice. But look, dun, 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 dun. You know what that is? Surveillance. So whoever the armed suspects is, unless they don't have surveillance or unless these don't work, or this is old footage, this is the grand opening. But I put Piper Arms, STC. So apparently this is what the inside looks like. But clearly you can see surveillance cameras inside this place, this establishment. Therefore, the armed suspects, the terrorists, we'll call them, oh my God, they would be on camera. Look what they serve here. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. My stomach is growling. Literally, I didn't even eat breakfast this morning. Look at this stuff. Oh my God, that looks so yummy. That looks yummy. Come on, folks. This doesn't look like a rundown bar. If you're serving food like this, oh my goodness. No, listen, look at that. Look at that. Broccoli, carrots, chicken. Look at that. Clams, right? Oh my God, that stuff looks so good. Look. What is that? Yeah, I don't like that pic. Oh, look at that. Spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti and meatballs. I want some spaghetti and meatballs. What else we got? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. What is that? What is that? I know that's coleslaw. Is that like a fried fish? Fish and chips? Fish and chips? Oh my God, that looks so good. That's like chili cheese fries. Definitely chili cheese fries. Chili cheese fries. So this place got some really good food here. I mean, there's a list of the food. There's a list of the food. Now let's go back and look on the map. I want to show you something. I'm going to go back and look on the map. Let's go right here. Let's see if we can. Yep. Here we go. What we got? We got a Walmart there. Whoa, is this where it used to be? Where am I at? Where am I at on Progress? Is it in the shopping center there? Is it next to a Walmart? Best Buy? Let me analyze this a minute. Let me take it back. Hold on. But it says it's right here on Progress. Says it's right here on Progress. But it's also a very new establishment. So we don't know what happened here. People are saying across from the Walmart. Thank you. We don't know what happened here, folks. We don't know what this is about. What do you think it is about? Piper Arms. Mass shooting. Why would someone go into the Piper Arms on a snowy... Here's the thing about it, too, is it was snowing. It was, well, I mean, Brian Kohlberger, it was foggy, right? Foggy and icy out. It was snowing. You risk getting caught. It's not like you can zoom away in the snow. What about if you plan, like if you really plan to do this and it starts snowing, wouldn't you think you wouldn't do it because you would think that, you know, the icy road conditions, the snow might stop your progress on Progress Avenue and you could get caught or you could not speed away? Maybe a snowmobile, but they say a silver car. We don't know anything about a silver car. Now, another primary cursor going on Twitter, not much more information. Not much more information. Look, someone actually did say it's connected to, it appears to be connected to the tow truck turf wars. This is someone's tweet that just tweeted out an hour ago. The most recent mass shooting that wounded 12 appears to be connected to tow truck wars. The police will not address the root causes of the conflict, and we as citizens are not allowed to talk about it without fear of more lawfare aimed at us. Canada's media, corrupted by state money, will not raise the issues either. They are too woke or too afraid to do anything. So the violence continues. Meanwhile, Doug Ford, who is essentially a jumped up corner boy, does nothing about the ongoing spread of crime in Ontario. Home invasions, gang wars, gangs with guns, tow truck war, carjacking, car theft, street takeovers, threats of genocide, shots fired at schools, etc. As for Mayor Chow, well, interesting. Is that what's going on there in Toronto, in the area? That's Chow, that's the mayor, and he was talking about Doug Ford. He's talking about Doug Ford. What is it like there? What is it like there? Is all those things happening? Tow truck wars and guns and gangs and invasions and street takeovers and immigration issues. What do we got? Canadians, step up. Talk to us. We'd love to know. We'd love to share. We're not afraid to expose it. We're not Canadian media. We are JLR Investigates. We're going to share and say how it is. But other than that, look at this. See, this is exactly what we were talking about. This guy's echoing what we've been saying. And I just want to share. This mass shooting is covered all around the world, but our TV media networks are silent. All of them. No, it's late, but saying 24 hours a day in your marketing is a lie. All Toronto news networks are running recorded programs right now, but the public needs to know. And that's exactly what we were talking about. It was The Guardian, The Independent, and Sky News are the ones that have been reporting this, but where is the Canadian media? Why isn't the Canadian media out there demanding answers and informing the public of the dangers of going on of 3 masked people out on the streets? No, not. Where are they at? Do they take the weekend off? Friday night? They're partying? But other than that, we don't have any other information. We don't have any other information. Piper is not putting anything about it. They haven't made a statement about it that I've seen. Crime in the area. We'll stay on it on JLR Investigates, but talk to us. Tips at JLR Investigates. Someone said in the chat, all media is talking about it. I don't see much media talking about it. Where's your wall-to-wall coverage? Let's just do YouTube right now and see if any of the Canadian news stations. All right, so I put it on YouTube. I'm going to put it in YouTube right now. I'm going to say Toronto shooting. I'm going to say Toronto shooting, okay? And I'm going to put in the last day. And we're going to see. We're going to see. All right, so are any of these Canadian medias here? Here's what's on YouTube in the last day about these shootings. We have the BBC News. That's not Canadian news. We got NewsX Live. That doesn't look like Canadian news, is it? ABC CBN News put something out 4 hours ago. 5 hours ago, Sky News. CBC News, that's Canada, right? Okay, 52 minutes ago, yes, put it out. Look at that, in the snow. Yeah, they put some Canadian news, look. It was snowing last night. These terrorists come out there and commit this crime in the snow. What's going on here? Matter of fact, Magnolia, I'm going to send you this video if you could get it in the pipeline here. Hold on, I'm going to send this over to Magnolia. She's going to download it for me because Magnolia does a wonderful job in the chat. She is the better half of JLR Investigates, the brains of our operation. If Magnolia, if you could put that together for me, please. We'll see what the local media has to say about this situation. It looks like they have actually journalists there, but it's a report from an hour ago. So then you have the Daily Guardian, you have the Toronto Sun, but that's a totally different story. They're talking about a home invasion. 2 shot, 1 dead. Family dog killed in 6 shooting at home. What's happening in a home invasion in Toronto? Yeah, it's pretty scary, folks. Pretty scary. Pretty scary. I'm going to get this thing up in the pipeline, but in the meantime, Toronto police have not put out any additional statements on this. We pretty much narrowed down the possibilities of what this could be. Unless you feel like it's something different. Is it just a random act of violence? Is it just out of the blue, just 3 ski mask people are just going to go, hey, we're going to go into a club or a club. Looks like a fancy restaurant to me. Looks like a fancy restaurant. This doesn't look like a rundown. It doesn't look like a rundown place. I mean, they had yummy food there. They look like they had yummy food there. But yeah, armed people are just going to go into. No, this seems like a very targeted, and they didn't like this place, or they were sending a message to the Piper Arms people about what was going on. He's sitting in his car. Look. What are they doing? They're keeping armed. Mass shooting that left 12 injured at a pub near Scarborough. And this question is, why would anyone want to live in Toronto? My bet is the participants were all from another country. And I kind of echo that. What's the chances? What's the chances of the shooter being an actually Canadian-born citizen? What are the chances? What are the chances? What are the chances that the shooters here are Canadian-born? I would say, this is my opinion. My opinion, until we get the facts. Somebody said 2%. I say 0. I say 0. I say there is a 0, and Magnolia is sending me that video, so we're going to get an update from local media in a second. Stand by. It's coming, folks. I'm going to give you the breaking news of a mass shooting at Piper Arms. Piper Arms. Kind of one of those places like, I want some Scottish eggs. No, I'm definitely hungry this morning, for real. Usually when I come and do the lives in the morning, I usually do breakfast first and then come on, unless it's something is breaking, which we got here. And I would have came on earlier last night when this was happening, but there was 0 footage. I mean, there was just one clip that was circulating on the internet that was just like 5 seconds. It just showed like police. Okay, so it's here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, folks. We got the clip. So I'm going to turn the volume up. Let's see what the local media has to say with this.
A late-night shooting in Toronto's East End has injured 12 people. 6 of them were shot. Investigators continue to look for multiple suspects. Jeremy Bergeron is at the scene, and he joins me now. Looking at the scene behind you there, I see a heavy police presence. That area is still cordoned off. What is the very latest?
So there's still a lot of police officers here in the area of Scarborough, Marion. Let me show you the scene if you want. Here we are in the area of Scarborough. At least 4 police cars from the Toronto police are still there. There's 1 car from the forensic team as well. And we still see some officers going into that pub because that's where happened the shooting last night. You know, the Piper Arms Pub. It was supposed to be a celebratory night. It was the opening of that pub last night when around 10:40, 3 male suspects got inside the pub and start to shoot. Police are talking about a chaotic scene, blood all over the place, 12 people injured, 6 have been shot, other people have been injured. We're talking about like broken glass or stuff like that. So 12 people have been transferred to hospital, minor to some people very heavy injured. Luckily, no one is life-threatening injuries, which is the good news as well this morning. So no life-threatening injuries. Maybe we can listen to a clip from the Toronto police about what they saw last night in the pub here.
I can tell you this was a brazen and reckless act of violence that's really shaken our community in the city itself. Myself and the other officers that watched the video, we are horrified by it. We've seen a lot of shootings over the years, a lot of video. You get a nerd to it to a certain extent, but tonight's shooting, these guys just looked at the crowd and opened fire. It was horrible.
So the investigation is still at its early stages, so we might know more today. We're waiting to hear more about the Toronto police. Mayor Chow also reacted on his social media X, saying that she is thinking about those people injured in that incident. But good news this morning is that we don't think that no one will die from that incident. 12 people injured, no life-threatening injuries, which is the good news this morning.
Radio Canada's Jeremy Bergeron in Toronto. Thanks for that.
All right, so that shows basically, the crime scene this morning. So will we get an update on this situation? Who is involved with this? Let me just do one quick brief and see if I can find any additional information from any local media about this. Scary times, folks. It's just also a reminder that we're all vulnerable when we go out to public places. I've said this over and over on this channel, covering the mass shootings at the Walmarts. I just saw a shooting yesterday at the Olive Garden. Some people are being shot. They're shot at parking lots, malls, all types of places, and when are we going to get into the time where we can just go out there and enjoy ourselves? Are we ever going to get it back to that era where we can spend time with our friends and family and actually not have fear of being shot? But we got our eyes on Scarborough, folks. And if any additional information gets shared, we will share it here on JLR Investigates. Our thoughts and prayers are for everyone involved in this terrible, terrible incident. And if you have any information you'd like to share, tips at JLR Investigates, we love to hear from you. All right, folks, that's a wrap. Good morning. Stay safe out there. Hopefully we'll get more information if they do a press conference or anything like that. We'll cover, or we'll at least share in the comments in this video what is going on. And if any suspects get arrested, we will share mugshots. Do they even give mugshots in Toronto? Do they ever even put out the people's names once they get caught? But if they do, if they put out anyone's face or image that they're looking for, or anyone that was held accountable for this, arrested, we'll share on the channel. All right, folks, we cover true crime 24/7, 365. Thank you, everyone, for the comments, subs, members. Keep the comments coming. Hit that sub button. We love our Canadians. We'll talk soon. Have a nice day, everyone. JLR Investigates. Stay safe out there. We cover true crime 24/7, 365, reporting from the JLR Batcave. Be safe out there, my friends. We'll talk soon.